All right, Melissa, thank you. South Carolina has scheduled an execution for a man sentenced in a 2001 Dorchester County murder case. Today, the state issued a death warrant for 44-year-old Marion Bowman Jr., scheduling his execution for January 31st. He is on death row for the killing of 21-year-old Candy Martin in 2001. She was shot in the head, her body found in the trunk of a car that had been burned in a rural area along Nursery Road. Now, Lindsay Vann is the executive director for the nonprofit Justice 360, released a statement on behalf of Marion Bowman's legal team. That statement reads in part, his conviction was based on unreliable, incentivized testimony from biased witnesses who received reduced or dropped sentences in exchange for their cooperation. Allowing this execution to proceed despite significant and unresolved doubt about Marion's conviction and the serious flaws in the original trial is unconscionable.
Welcome back to the channel. The United States penal system in the state of South Carolina is starting off where they left off at last year with a government-sanctioned unalivement of Marion Bowman Jr. Now, as you can see in the beginning of that clip, Marion Bowman Jr. was convicted of shooting and killing Candy Martin in the early morning hours of February 17th, 2001. But I'd like to start off just saying, do you agree with the death penalty or disagree with the death penalty? And do you think this crime right here is worthy of a death penalty case? Leave a comment in my comment section and just let me know how you feel about that part. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, did you know last year, how many people do you think last year were unalived, government-sanctioned unalivement in the United States by the government penal system? I'll take a minute. You know, take a hot second. What do you think? I'm gonna let you know. 25 people. 25 people were unalived in the penal system across America last year, right? And now they're kicking off this year with Marion Bowman Jr. And last year, out of the 25 people, they came out with a new way of unaliving people in the penal system, right?
We do have some breaking news to report. Remember, we have been following this story all week out of Alabama, where this inmate was set to be tonight using a new and novel method, nitrogen gas. Well, this is what we know. You see a photo of the inmate right there. His name, Kenneth Smith. He was convicted of a 1988 murder for hire. He's a rare prisoner who has already survived one execution attempt. Back in November of 2022, Alabama officials aborted his execution by lethal injection after struggling for hours to insert an intravenous lines needle in his body. Well, under the new protocol, which was announced in a heavily redacted form back in September, officials will restrain Smith in a gurney and strap a commercial industrial safety respirator mask to his face. A canister of pure nitrogen will be attached to the mask in a process intended to deprive him of inhaling oxygen. Now, there have been many stays involved in this case, and including an 11th hour one as well that has just been denied.
See, that's what that's called, nitrogen hypoxia. So that's a new way that the United States penal system has come up with for unaliving people, right? For the simple fact that a lot of people don't agree with the method. A lot of the companies don't want to sell these certain drugs for unaliving people because that's not what they made it for. These drugs are made for a whole lot of different other things, right? And so a lot of the companies don't want to sell to the government for that. They don't, you know, they have a stance where they don't believe in the unalivement of inmates, right? That's their stance on that. But this guy right here, he was the first one that this new method was used, and it's called nitrogen hypoxia. And I think they did 3, like I said before, 3 inmates last year out of the 25. So now in 2025, on January 31st, Marion Bowman Jr., 44, is slated for unalivement. This will be the 3rd unalivement in South Carolina since they restarted the unalivement process, right? So, you know, I don't know. Leave a comment in my comment section and let me know how you feel about the unalivement process. You know what I mean? And I got to get this lingo right on Facebook, man. You know what I mean? Just to try to, so I do want my video to be heard, man. And you got to talk a certain way. But as you can see, the total unalignments for 2025, I counted 10 up here on my screen right there, right? And it kicks off with MARION BOWMAN Jr., and that's South Carolina. And so, like I said, he's the third one. So since they started it back up, South Carolina has been getting kind of busy down there, right? Yeah, so as you can see on the screen, Texas has, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 unalignments coming up, right? You have February 5th, February 13th, March 13th, April 23rd. Then you have Ohio. They jump started off. What is that? 2, 4. That's 5. Starting from June 18th, July 30th, September 24th, October 30th, and December 10th. We're not going to get into the names of the people right now, but you can see it on the screen right there who they got coming up next. And then, if I don't miss it by when it's scheduled, if I'm not busy and I can remember, I definitely will make a video about it and try to get into their case a little bit, because I'm just sitting here thinking some days I'd be like, man, there's 1,000 places I'd rather be. But then I think about, that's when I be at work. I'd be like, man, that was 1,000 places. I can't wait till I get ready to retire, 1,000 places I'd rather be. And then I look at, when I get online and I look at some of these things that these guys that, I'm just curious about how they got themselves in this position and to get themselves, scheduled for unalignment, man. I guess it's just I want to say to the youngsters out there, man, there's a lot of things you can be doing in life, but you don't want to get yourself in these type of positions where you can be scheduled for unalignment, because it seems like the United States penal system, man, that's what they do. That's what we known for, you know what I'm saying? And so, it's just like a precautionary tale to the youngsters out there, man. There's all kind of ways that you can live your life, but this right here is not one of them, man. MARION BOWMAN Jr. is scheduled for an unalignment on January 31st. Right now, I just imagine what this brother is thinking right now. You know what I mean? The thoughts that went through his head. But then on the other side, imagine what that young woman was thinking, man. When they shot that, when they did that to that young woman and put her in the back of that car and set that car ablaze, right? So there's a lot of ways you can look at it. And I was just wondering, like I said, leave a comment in my comment section and let me know if you agree with the unalignment processes or you disagree. Is this case worthy of it? You know what I'm saying? That's the only problem I have, because I've been thinking there's a lot of cases out there where they should use it and they don't. So that's where I kind of differ with it. You know what I mean? And then in the racial part of it too. You know what I mean? But Rowdy Nation TV, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so anytime I drop a video, you guys can be notified. We out.